Hey guys, I'm DiMuzio.
I'm Therese Tiangco.
And today we're gonna find out if you, and maybe me,
Or me?
have an Asian fetish. I have dated way more Asian girls than other kinds of girls. My first crush that I ever had was on a Filipino. I think I was 9 years old. It was my best friend's sister. My best friend was Filipino, and yeah, my best friend's sister. And ever since then, I've always liked the way that Asian girls look.
Ew, he has an Asian fetish.
Better than white girls in general. But that said, it's actually just generally like a certain look. Like even when it comes to white girls, there's kind of like a certain Asian-y look that I like. Like I like, my biggest crush that was a white girl when I was like in high school was Drew Barrymore, because she had this really round, cute, chubby face, and I just found it completely adorable.
I hate my chubby face, sorry.
See, I think it's beautiful. So today we're gonna talk about what is a fetish and what is just something that a person prefers or a preference, and why is it that when a guy likes a certain type of girl, like, or prefers girls from a certain race, like if a white guy prefers black girls, that he suddenly has a black girl fetish.
I never heard of that. Is there a black fetish?
Absolutely there is.
There is?
There's not a lot of black people in the Philippines, so you guys know.
Okay, maybe that's why I don't know.
But why is it that, especially when it's a guy, it's a fetish, but when a girl, like if you're, you know, like, would your friends, if you generally preferred white guys, would your friends say to you, oh, you have a white guy fetish? Would they say that? They would?
I feel like, yeah, they would say that.
They would say, use the word fetish? Or they would be like, oh, she prefers white guys.
Okay, maybe they don't use the word fetish.
They wouldn't use the word fetish. The thing is, I think that there's really negative connotations with the word fetish that makes it seem like it's just a sexual thing.
Yeah.
That it's just like a sexual use of somebody.
Well, maybe for some guys, it's only that thing. It's for like their sexual desires, you know?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying that doesn't exist at all.
With like an Asian girl, because we are like submissive and ignorant and we will do what you want.
But see, I think like these things, well, those stereotypes.
But that's not true, you know?
They're not even true. Like those
maybe
things.
For some, yeah, but you know, most of us, it's not like that.
Asian girls being submissive. Yeah, I think Asian girls, like I've dated lots of Asian girls in different countries and they're not submissive. So I thought I would quickly read the actual definition of fetish.
According to who?
According to the dictionary, it says a form of sexual desire in which gratification is linked to an abnormal degree to a particular object, item of clothing, or part of the body. So that has nothing to do with races whatsoever.
But when does it become a fetish though?
I think that if there's just sort of a sexual use to something, then it becomes a fetish. Let's say a guy only liked to watch Asian porn. He didn't like date Asian girls, he didn't have an Asian wife, like he was just like, I just like Asian porn. Then I could see that as like a fetish, because it's linked to something that's purely sexual.
But
you know?
I mean, it could also be like, okay, what if you're only like dating Asians? Like, okay, I'm gonna date Asian. Will that make you have fetish?
I think that if you only were turned on by Asians, if that's the only thing that like sexually did it for you, then I could see that as being more of like a fetish. But I don't think that that's the case for like most any foreigners. Like for me, and I think most foreigners that I know that prefer Asian girls, it's actually just that they just like that look. They just find that it's just the preference of the way that they like that look. Versus like I have friends that only like blondes, that they always date blondes, and so that's not a blonde fetish.
It's like some people like tall guys, so that it's not like a tall fetish.
Exactly.
You know?
It's just something that they prefer, like characteristics. So like I don't like all Asian girls the way that they look, like not even remotely. But I really like girls with more like round faces, chubby cheeks, like smaller eyes. I find this look just really beautiful.
Well, you're just
adorable.
describing me.
Maybe that's why we're friends.
Okay, yeah.
So
I friend-zoned him before. Okay.
Yeah, she friend-zoned me immediately. It's okay. I have other options.
I guess like it becomes a fetish if you know you kind of like objectify us Asian girls and see us just as sex objects.
Yeah.
Or yeah, rather than seeing us as a whole and rather than seeing our personality.
Exactly.
That is like, okay, because she's, you know, she's Filipino or she's Vietnamese, that does it for me already. Like, I already like her. It's just the idea of us, not
exactly
who we really are.
Who you really are. I totally agree.
You dilute us.
But I think it should be, you should be really careful. I know I would appreciate it as someone that's been pointed at as someone that has an Asian fetish because they generally prefer to date Asian girls. That's like a term that should be used really carefully, the term fetish, and not thrown around, because it objectifies the guy and his feelings, and it objectifies the girl that he likes, you know?
That's true, and it kind of normalizes the act of objectification.
Yep.
It's like, okay, Asian fetish, it's just normal, it's not big of a deal. But the term itself makes it continue and prevail it in the society.
I totally agree. So if a girl likes black guys, white guys, Asian guys, or a guy likes or prefers someone of a particular race and the way that they look, then it doesn't have to necessarily be something that's sexual. It could also come from their evolutionary biology. You know, when I look at a girl that has a certain kind of look, you know, whether it's a Spanish girl or white girl or Drew Barrymore or Asian girl, I look at that person and I kind of feel like, what would my children look like?
Oh, you also think about that, your children.
Like, what would our babies look like, you know? And like, the reason that I don't date girls that look like me, that have thin faces and long noses, is that I just don't think I would have pretty babies with them, you know? Then their kids would have giant long noses and skinny faces, and I just don't think it would be nice. So I want to make beautiful children, and yeah, I have a better chance with someone who looks a little bit more like you.
Okay, but no.
But not you.
Not me, friends.
No chance.